Sasha Talia Pather. I have a business called Sasha Talia Counselling. So it is a private practice that's based in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. So I also offer mental health services within my company, and I provide counselling. So I do it online, I do it in person as well, and I service locally and internationally as well. So my business, I've just started it, so it is about 5 years old, and I make sure that we are providing a lot of mental health services through it. So with my background, I have a lot of background in volunteer work. So I've been volunteering from the time I was 19. And I have been working with a lot of local organizations, a lot of government and private organizations within the therapy field. I also have a degree in the psychology and social work fields. And I have a degree in theology. So I'm also very much into the ministry side of things. And basically, with my background, I have a lot of experience working with people, I think, from the ground up. And so I've worked with a variety of mental health issues, especially in the different communities. And so I think that has really built up my experience in the field also. So my biggest dream was probably to be what I never had. So I wanted to help people. I wanted to, just be able to propel people to go forward in their purpose. And I feel like my dream, because I never had it, I wanted to become it. And so my dream was always to, be there, especially as a safety for people. And I think that's what I basically stepped into. So with volunteering, I started from my school days, and then after school, when I was very interested, in doing stuff, I got very involved in the community. So I used to go into, I created a foundation. With the foundation that I had when I was very young, around about 18, 19 years, I used to go into the communities, feed, clothe, provide mental health services for people who couldn't afford it. And we really were doing the groundwork. And we were going in there trying to help people basically with whatever their need was. And from there, I think I just started getting involved with organizations, more people that wanted to help other people, more people in empowerment. And so from there, I was like, you know what, I help a lot of people, but now I also need to take that step to get into what I'm supposed to do. And then I just took the step about 5 years ago, and I came into my own private practice. And since then, I think I've just been, entering a lot of different spaces like SABC, Lotus FM, The Post. I was in the papers because I think people who also have a similar vision, they noticed it. And all of a sudden, a lot of platforms were opening up because there was a need, and there still is a need in the communities. And I think because of that need, I just ended up, in those places and, able to assist in those ways. But yeah, I started off way back in those places. So especially in some communities, I think, when it comes to the issues that are faced with mental health, a lot of people don't even have the knowledge about mental health. A lot of people also, especially whether it's different cultures, whether it's backgrounds, whether it's just society in general, they see mental health as a luxury. But mental health is just as important as your physical health. So a lot of things derive from there. And people, if you look at communities, if you can solve a mental health issue, you are literally solving a safety issue. You're solving a crime issue. You're solving a lot of issues where if you can take care of the people in the village, which is starting off with their mind and stuff, your village is actually going to become safer. It's going to become, much better. So the problems like abuse, addiction, especially in the areas that I started off in, I grew up there. So I know exactly what's surrounding and stuff. And till today, people, they either don't want to know or it's a foreign concept. But I think my aim was to normalize mental health and to make it like, you know what, we can talk about it, or things can be okay. You can take a different path, in life, or you can be happy. Like, people are just not happy sometimes, and we just gotta like paint it on and go in there, and then you gotta kind of like just be happy in different situations and be everything that people want you to be. But how are you on the inside? Like, whoever takes the time to ask you, are you okay? So the issues with mental health, it's very prevalent. It's like everywhere, but really we can normalize it. And I guess it starts with, all of us. So with motivation and I think inspiring, I didn't have the typical family and stuff. So I was raised by my grandmother and my two aunties. So I have only seen women make things happen, and also I've seen them do it even like without a male, whether if you don't do it like this, everything depends on it. So I've seen, and I think I've really been motivated and inspired because I've seen the empowerment of women, where you can stand up, you have a voice, you can make a thing happen for yourself. So I think really it has impacted me, because then I started to learn like, this is the woman that I want to be. I also want to stand up for things that are right. I also want to be able to empower, to be able to make a certain thing happen. And you don't have to be quiet because of what your gender is. And I think that has really motivated me. Also my partner, I've seen, I think when it comes to seeing people go through like the worst and come out, that resilience, it always like motivates me, because I feel like a lot of us, we all have a lot of reason to give up, and the fact that we don't, we should be like so proud about that. So it really motivates me to see that, you just have a lot of reasons to give up, but these people like in my inner circle, they just never did. And because of that, I am the person that I am. And I think it helped me also to not give up as well.
It's really important to have that resilience and strength to continue.
It helps a lot, I think, with resilience, because it's kind of difficult out there when you go through life. But I think you got to focus on like, what do you have, and also what's in you that you can put out there, because there's so much that we can look at that and we can say, it's not in us, or we can't do it, and there comes society and stuff. But you can, if you actually think you can. So with my business, I feel like with our societies, a lot of people can be bought. I feel like a lot of systems, like they let people down, they do fail people. But there are many organizations that stand up for people. They don't fail them. People can rely on them. I think with my business, it is one of those businesses that you can say, okay, this is a safe space. This is not going to fail me. And also, it might be one of the pivotal organizations in my life that actually helped me to get, healthier or happier, or to certain points. So I think also with my character, I care about people, so that kind of like impacted in my business. So people come in, they're not a number, they're always cared for, and I guess that's how I've impacted them. There's so many different awards, so many recognitions, so many firsts also that I've experienced, like the first time on radio, the first time on TV, the first time on social media, but those achievements, they're great, and they really motivate you, they really make you feel good. But I think some of the most special achievements are those that like came in and said, like you helped me to like save my life. And when I look at women abuse, when I look at like addiction and stuff, and when I see people like living their lives, those are the achievements that I feel like you just can't. Those are like so priceless and stuff. So I think those are some of the biggest achievements. Other than that, recognition wise, of course, there's been a lot. I've been associated with a lot of corporate in KZN, a lot of major organizations, major news spaces and things. But I think the biggest achievements would have been the changes and the impacts in people's lives that I've seen in all these years. With challenges, if you think about it, I've probably been through it. So in my life. I know people will say, no, but then you're too young, there's so much more, there's so much. But in actual fact, like, I know what it's like to have rejection. I've been through violations. Like, as a woman, in our communities as well, I've seen violations, I've seen abuse, I've seen no finances, I've seen all the doors shut in my faces. I think the main thing about overcoming all of that was I never let any of those situations define me. So the main thing is you don't let a thing decide what it's going to call you. You decide. So if you are a victim in a certain situation, you don't have to call yourself a victim. You can change what you're called. You can change what you respond to. And I think that no matter what, the biggest thing is that every kind of adversity, every kind of challenge that I went through, if there was no door, I just built one. And that was the only thing that kind of helped me to just keep overcoming the challenges, knowing who you are, and I think going forward into everything. Like I said, if there's no door, you just create one. If there's no table, you make one. You don't fight for a place at a table. It's okay to go through challenges, to be alone. You're gonna have seasons of your life like that, but it doesn't mean that that's your entire life. There's so much more, and I think when we're in dark times, we don't even see it. But there's more. There's always more. For young women, I think figure out who you are. It really helps if you know who you are, so that if you know who you are, you don't have to go somewhere and let other people tell you who you are. And also, your worth is inside you. So you don't have to try and look, because I know even me being like when I was a younger woman, I also was looking for my worth in all the wrong places. But if you realize who you are and you find or you actually acknowledge that your worth is coming from inside you, you're not going to look for it in the wrong places and things like that. And also, like I said, you don't have to fight for people to see you or to do, as long as you know who you are and you are following exactly what makes you happy, doing what you feel you want to do, and you follow your purpose. That is exactly what matters. I think everything else is just secondary. It doesn't even compare to that, as long as you are fulfilled there. For future, I want to open up a mental health center in KZN, of course, like based in Durban, and like within the mental health center, I want to focus on wellness, on addiction, abuse, women empowerment. So it would be an entire center with other counselors as well as part of my team, so that we can just we can continue to normalize it in our communities and just make a difference, so that if we are known, we're known for changing lives. Like whatever your problem is, you can come there. It's okay. But yeah, I really want to focus on the mental health space a bit more and open up that center. I think I love doing anything that has to do with the outdoors and stuff, so I'm very much there. But also, I just love doing things with the people that I love. I think it's fun. Also, I love the malls, so you can always find me in there. So that's good. But yeah, other than that, I love the outdoors. I love to just do things that are relaxing and just calming. I think also, those help a lot.